All right, let's take a look at the graphical analysis software from Vernier. When you first open the program, you'll see that it provides you with multiple methods of getting data into the program. And though we do have many sensors with which to get data into the program, we're going to begin with manual entry and just typing in our data set. When you first get in the program, you will see that you're going to have a graph on the left and the data set, the little spreadsheet, will be on the right. And our XY data set here by default is named data set 1. I'm going to click on data set options and I'm going to rename that. And this is our motion graph that we're building. So I will name it motion graph and hit rename. Now you don't have to do that, but it's nice to get our data set named. Now the X and Y axis by default are just named X and Y. And since we're making a motion graph, we want to name our X axis time. So I will click on the column options in the X axis. And I'm going to change the X to time, and the units are seconds. And click apply. And notice it has not only changed the name over in the data table, but it's also added it to the graph itself. Similarly, I'm going to click on the column options for the y-axis, and I'm going to name that distance. And the units, as always in physics for distance, or usually our default unit will be meters. Click apply. So the data table is all set up, and so is the graph. Now I'll take a moment to put some data in. See, it's coming out pretty linear. Not perfectly linear, but fairly linear. All right, let's add a title to our graph because you can see there's no title up here. So I will come over to the Graph Tools button and I will go to Edit Graph Options at the bottom, and notice you can add your title here. We'll put distance versus time. And when you do that, notice it's added a title up here to the graph. Now, the reason we made the graph is to be able to analyze it and obtain a curve fit. Mainly, since this is linear, we want our slope and our y-intercept. So if we come down here to the Graph Tools button again, it says Apply Curve Fit. I'm going to select that. And notice by default, it starts with a linear fit, which happens to be what we're looking for in this case, but there are plenty of other curves, and we will investigate many of them throughout the year. But I'm going to select linear and apply. When you do that, it puts the statistics box off to the right. And notice it tells you that the equation, the general equation for the straight line is y equals mx plus b. And it's also nice enough to give you the slope, 10.11, and the y-intercept. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the units here, but you should remember that the units on the slope, which is the m here, will always be the units of the y-axis divided by the x-axis. So in this case, it would be meters per second. And the units on the y-intercept will always be the same as the units on the y-axis, which in this case would be meters. If you want to save the data file, if you come up here to where it says Untitled, that's the file menu, you could click on Save As, and it would save the file to your list of files on your Chromebook, or you could save it locally on your computer. One of the really important options for us, when you go to write your lab reports, you're going to want a picture of what you've done. So you can click on Export, and you could save the data set as a comma-separated value file if you want, or probably more importantly, you could save as a graph image. And that would allow you to put it into another document or to attach for your teacher. I hope you enjoyed this tour of graphical analysis, and hopefully you enjoy using it.